This week, I bought all of Lidl's car camping equipment because we've got a little camping trip to get on. So let's get in the car and go. Come on. Change the tide to another day. Oh, but this is good. It's a beautiful sunny day. I got my tiny little Lidl car packed to the brim with Lidl camping stuff for tonight. I could have chosen a slightly bigger car, to be honest. I reckon if my car was a supermarket, it'd probably be Lidl. But we'll gloss over that. I don't even know if I could sleep in this, but we'll see, we'll see. The campsite we booked isn't even that far away, to be honest, which is really nice. Well, I probably haven't seen many people turn up with just Lidl equipment for the night, but never mind. Now, we have also got some secret extra little things as well from Lidl, so we'll be testing those throughout the night. What a night it's going to be. And I will say it is exceptionally hot. It's about 35 degrees today, hottest day of the year so far. And I've chosen to do it in this, which has no working aircon and the windows don't go down. So just nothing works, which is unbearably warm. So I'm quite excited to get out of this car and then set it up at our campsite. So let's get on it. Oh, we're finally at our little campsite for the night, and oh, I'm so hot. I can't wait to get out of this awful, awful car and test out our Lidl stuff. All right, we've got a lovely selection of things today. Now, it's absolutely rammed full of everything we need for a good night's sleep, or so Lidl says. So let's run through some of the items we've got, not all of them though. First on the list, we've got a sleeping bag. Now, this is only rated between 12 and -4, so quite a lightweight one, but I don't know why I'm complaining, because it is 30 odd degrees. Again, nice and cheap, but hopefully it does the job. We're gonna find out. Next on the list is our kitchen for the night. Oh, this was really, really cheap, this one. It's a little gas stove, gas not included, thanks boys. I've had to go and get some gas. That was $4.99, I think, for the little canister. So overall, still not a bad combo if it works and does the job. Should be all right. But Matt, this is supposed to be a car camping video. Well, I've got some good news because we've got an inflatable rear airbed specifically designed for a car. I'm not sure about this one. We're gonna find out. It might be okay. There's no measurements for what size car it should be either. Probably a bigger one than this one, but never mind. Now, to complete the car camper, we've also got some side window covers, which came in the little camping section. So I assume that's to block out the sun and any other people looking in to see us sleeping. So we'll see how good those are. And perhaps while we're waiting for our food to be doing some outside activities, I've got an air lounger for lounging around. So this is new in this week. Oh, I know, very exciting. But I'm intrigued by this because apparently it's self-inflating. So we're gonna be lounging around in our campsite tonight. And finally, for the little stuff I'm actually willing to show you at the moment, it's this. It's a camping shower. I've never used one of these before, but I can't imagine it's gonna be great. So nice and refreshing in the morning. Although I have to say, actually, hang on, if the quality of the products are anything like their bags, I bought this morning. Oh no, Lidl. Right, let's get to building our camp then. Oh. Before we get on to cooking, which I'm starving already, I want to try out a little air lounger, set up camp a little bit, because we've got this nice little section here, so let's make it our own. Although I haven't got a clue how to use this. Right, I'm so intrigued by it being self-inflating. I mean, what is self-inflating? Do we get instructions? What is that? How do we do this? Oh, the instructions are the packaging. This makes no sense. You have to sort of insert yourself into the pillow thing, scrunch up an L bracket, and then it works. What? Ah. Oh. Right, hang on. I think you have to inflate it with speed. Come on. Oh my God, there's holes. My hand's disappeared. Right, I'm gonna need to tag someone in for this. Cameraman Ollie. Also, there's a million flies everywhere. Just, that's good. I thought it would be good to get a campsite near a lake. That was a catastrophic mistake. Oh, it's working. It's inflating, Ollie. What is that? I don't know. What is that? Ollie, what is that? What is that for? Is that for where your goes? Can we show that?
It's ventilation for your back. Because that's where your back goes.
That's where my back,
Wait, hold on, which way?
That's where my back goes. Right, should we give this a go? Should we just see? This can't possibly be correct. How do you get on here without seriously hurting yourself? Oh. Right, that's probably not correct then, is it? Needs more inflations. New tactic unlocked.
Can I stop? Yeah.
Yes! Yes! This thing has happened. Do you like it?
I quite like it.
And look, the flies like it as well, so that's good.
It's rather cosy, isn't it?
With the confusing inflatable lounger now inflated, we moved on to dinner. So this is our gas camping stove. Now, there's mixed reviews on this. This one looks like it's been opened as well. That wasn't us, it's been thrashed, the packaging. But it's quite a simple thing. It should be okay. Obviously, I've had to buy the gas. And it's a simple thing that all you've got to do is just stick it straight in the hole and I think thread it in, and you should be good to go on that. I'm just going to stick it in and then screw this base on. A Lidl product which involves gas, which is all absolutely terrifying based on previous videos I've done. But we need a flickety flop. Oh, that's all of Lidl product smoke. It's just a thing that happens recently. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know if I want to hold this and light it at the same time. I'm going to put it down, I think.
It's just gas escaping. I think it's fine. Welcome. Oh my. Oh, I don't like this at all. Ollie, I don't like this at all. Ollie, this is a terrible idea.
Oh, well, it works. That's good. And it's very warm.
It's almost like there's a fire or something. Right, let's get off. Oh, we've got Lidl food, by the way. Let me show you the Lidl food which we're cooking tonight. Right, for dinner, we've got burgers, which is... We're camping, it's Lidl, it's burgers. Of course we have. These are Lidl burgers, and they're still very frozen. I wonder why that is. Right, Ollie, do you mind igniting the scary thing now?
I really don't like this. Oh my God. Also, is that too close? We reckon that's going to explode?
Nah, it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? We've got a little saucepan. It's just Lidl in size. It's not actually from Lidl. Oh no, it's not going well. I've uncovered a slight design flaw. Oh no. And Ollie's fixed it by using common sense. Well done. All right, burgers are on, and we didn't bring a spatula. The problem is even at the lowest setting that gas is on, it's still absolutely rinsing these poor burgers. There's no real adjustment. Like, it's got it on there, but it's either furnace or mega furnace. I got to work cooking the lovely Lidl burgers with no help from Ollie at all, and soon enough, this is good. They're like biscuits now, and I'm stuck in that tonight, and I've got to make a dinner out of it. Oh, that was the wrong place for that to go. I need to set up my beds and everything, yeah? I've got to go and do all of that. Ollie, I don't think that's how you use the chair. Oh, lovely. No, you don't put your head in there. Oh my God. Any cheese?
I don't know, have you got cheese?
No. I've got some Lidl barbecue sauce as well, so it'll be rude not to. Oh, it's on my leg. It's actually really good. That's fun.
There's some good burgers. Well done, Lidl.
Yeah,
Agree with whatever that statement could quite possibly have been.
Right, it's starting to get dark now. It's about 9 o'clock, so we're going to get our little bed set up for the night. Now, I'm hoping everything's riding on this being good for me to actually sleep tonight. Come on, Lidl. Right, look at this. So this is an inflatable. Oh dear. We've got a little pillow. We've got 2 pillows. This is going to be good. What? Okay, we've got a lot of pillows. This is obviously to hold it up between the footwell at the back. So I guess that means that this is the mattress itself, maybe? This looks really good. So obviously these plastic tags fit in there, the base. It should be quite sturdy actually. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like. Right, so if we put this sort of on the back. Now this is a very tiny car. I'm hoping we will fit in here. Oh! Right, haha. This goes this way round. Oh, there's a bed happening in my tiny car. It went down. Okay, that's not great stuff. Oh no. Oh yeah. So this is our sort of leg support thing, I think. Oh, look at that. And now we've got little legs for our little bed. That is really good, I think. It could be a little bit thicker. I'm telling you now, if I get in it. You know, we said this might get bigger. Here's my pillow for the night.
It looks like a dog toy.
It looks like, it does look like a dog. It's tight. Oh no, but that's why they give you 2 of them. We place our tiny, tiny pillows. We're going in for the test run. I've got my sleeping bag with me just in case. That's a bit optimistic, so. Oh my days. Oh, this is a massive problem. Oh no! This can't be right. If I shut this door, oh no. This isn't good. I've got to sleep in this. Look, I know that this car is too small for this. I know. I didn't think that through. But the product itself isn't much bigger at all. It's literally about another 10 centimeters wider. And the tiny pillows, oh no, no, no. For me to be comfortable, that's the situation we're in. This isn't good. I think we've got a bit of a problem. Look, I'm gonna give the sleeping bag a quick test just to see if this is actually doable tonight. Ah, yes. This is much better. This is actually a really nice quality sleeping bag. It's not many togs, but the togs it has got are very good. You've got a nice zip down the side as well for easy removal of yourself. I don't know, I think after all that moaning, never mind. There's a handle there, just so we're all aware. I think this is mainly the car's fault, to be honest with you. Oh, this car. It's not just awful to sleep in this car, it's got heaps of problems with it, but to save you the hassle of buying a car with loads of hidden problems, you should check out this week's sponsor, Vehicle Score.
Vehicle Score summarises all of your car's information in one place, like the MOT history, mileage, tech specs, vehicle health, and loads more.
And if you want to do a more advanced check on outstanding finance or to see if a car's been written off, then you can use my code MONEYPIT10 to get 10% off that check. And it will give you much more detail than just your average check. And now I'm going to run Ollie's Range Rover number plates into Vehicle Score to see how bad it really is. Sorry, Ollie. Oh, 114. That is catastrophic. That's probably the worst score I've ever seen. So you get this lovely little score which tells you how bad your car is. In this case, it's not looking too good. Now, obviously, we get the mileage that was taken at the last MOT on 241,900, so quite high up there. This is the one he got from Croatia. And we're expecting it to be about 250,000 now, and usually these are very, very accurate because it goes off previous MOT data. So if you go over the specs, we get some awesome information which tells you a quick summary of everything that's going on power-wise, which is quite good. 174 brake horsepower because it is the TD6 version, but you have got all the information there, including the 25 mpg. We'll just got to save that bit, it's fine. It also tells you how much your road tax is going to be, and it's never good for an old Range Rover, but it's quite good if you're looking to buy a car. You've got all that information there as well. So if we go over to health, this is where it's getting quite fun because, yeah, it's in the late life cycle, unfortunately. This poor old Range Rover, it's actually over the expected, so it's done well for a Range Rover, but yeah, it's not. Sorry, Ollie. You also get things as well in the MOT history, so it tells you there's been reoccurring issues which haven't been fixed, which is an indication it was probably run on the cheap by previous owners. So again, just little hints like that really help when trying to buy a new car. You can also get an in-depth graph as well, which tells you exactly when the score went downhill, so you can see roughly how long it's been run well or not run so well. Now, over on the MOTs, you get an even more detailed breakdown with some really handy graphs to show you exactly what's been going on with the car that you've checked. So obviously we've got some anomalies here, some very strange going on has been happening. You also get some lovely little data down here which just quickly summarises how many passes and fails you've got, and if you want to know all the information about it, you can see exactly how badly it's failed over the years, and being a Range Rover, it's quite a lot. It's a lot. Flipping it, everything's gone wrong on this. So another really handy feature of Vehicle Score is the AI Assistant, and that will tell you all about running costs and repairs. You simply type it in, ask a question, and it will find it out for you and quickly summarise it, so it's nice and easy. Now remember, you can get a full history check that will cover absolutely everything from outstanding finance to insurance write-offs. So for a peace of mind, it is absolutely worth running a Vehicle Score on your car or a car you're planning to get.
Remember to use code MONEYPIT10 for 10% off your check.
So it's getting a little bit dark now. We've got our terrible home set up for the night. Looking forward to that. I've also got these window blinds fresh from Lidl. So these, apparently, there should be 2 in here. And what these will do is go right over this door, and then you shut that, and then you can still your windows down, which is nice to get ventilation over the night. There'll be no mosquitoes or anything in there. Oh yes! Look at that! That's fantastic! That is genuinely brilliant. I really, really like that. I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's straightforward as anything. Window winder down there, so you can still get your window up and down. And this is built specifically to go around the flat side this side and curve around. I think that's really good. Right, I'm going to try and get in now and set up inside for the night. As soon as it's now getting dark, I'd rather have the luxury of sight. Oh, this is ridiculous. You guys need to come in with me. Hang on a second. We'll just shut this, which is an easier task than you'd hope. Come on. Ugh. Although, I should... Oh, no. No way. No way. Is that... Hang on. If we just... No way. Oh, this is a problem. Hang on. Let me just... I'm not panicking. I'm just panicking. Okay. Woo! The actual bed itself is pretty well made. I'd honestly say a regular size air mattress would be a lot better than what we have here. Also, by the way, let me just Yeah, this is how it's going. How on earth am I in here tonight? Is this possible? It must be. It must be. If I just think small, I'll become that. I'm as comfortable as I think I'm gonna get tonight. It's pretty tough in here. It's really, really warm. I'm gonna go to sleep without the sleeping bag on. It's underneath me. It's sort of an extra pillow at the moment. If it gets surprisingly cold tonight, then I'll put that on and I'll test it, because I've still got some more Lidl products to review later on tomorrow morning. So we'll see what those are like, if I can get any sleep at all. Hopefully, I'll see you in the morning, but no promises. No. So it's about 1 in the morning. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. There you go. So it suddenly got really, really cold out here. Obviously, I've put the Lidl sleeping bag on, which is helping a lot. It's pretty good, to be fair. I've just got really bad cramp. And also, you might have noticed when we were filming all of this, about 250,000 flies just descended on us filming this, and all of them have come to join me inside the Amica tonight. So it's an absolute party in here, which is really nice. I'm just being eaten alive. Right, I'm going to try and get some more sleep, and I'll see you in the morning, bright and early. Bye. Morning everyone, I hope you all slept well. I certainly didn't. It wasn't too bad, honestly. I could definitely recommend a sleeping bag. That was a lifesaver when it got cold last night. The airbed is quite comfy, it just needs to be a bit bigger. We've got more products to test. I'm not looking forward to this one, but it will wake me up. This is our gravity-fed camping shower. There's no pump, there's no electrics. You just hook it up on a tree, and your sack of water comes out onto your lovely greasy body. Let's do it. Oh, I almost forgot our security door still works. Right, I can see this only going well. So this is your rather tragic shower head. Oh, and there's some pipey bits. All right, here we go. It's always important to get the shower head covered in mud before you have a shower. I'm feeling refreshed already. So here we go, walking into the woods like a sane human being. Oh my God. Oh, flippin' heck. This is absolutely insane. Really not looking forward to this. Oh, this is going to be tough. There's no putting this off, is there? I mean, there's no... That's my pressure. Lidl. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's so cold. Oh, God, that's so cold. Oh, oh, oh. It's actually quite good, but... Oh, this is so bad. On that lovely note, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.